Greetings and salutations, tube dwellers. I am your host, the Mad Bag. Welcome back to Skyrim. This may no longer be the Skyrim that you're familiar with, although I'm sure some of you will be familiar with what it has changed into. You are looking at a brand new character. This is a character that you have not yet seen. This is Quenthel. And I've got some new mods installed. So up to this point, I've been very light on the gameplay mods I use. I've used Deadly Dragons and Immersive Weapons and Immersive Armors, and honestly the two immersive mods don't really add much to the gameplay. Oh, Hadvar. I had no idea you were so strapped. Deadly Dragons, though, changes gameplay substantially as far as dragon fights go. And other than that, I haven't basically done anything ever to mod my gameplay. Well, that little fact ends now, as I've installed Duel and Skyrim Realism, both mods that heavily impact gameplay, and you'll see some of that in just a second. So Quenthel is going to hopefully fill the craving in me to have another spellcaster, a spellcaster that's worth her salt. I really hope that Quenthel will fill that niche for me, as I haven't had a satisfying spellcaster since the days of Kale Foss.
3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape.
You don't say!
Mage, eh? Well, to each his own. It's not for me to judge.
Would you judge that negatively, even if it were up to you to judge? I mean, there are far seedier paths to choose. Alright, so anyway, let me talk, at least briefly, about what Skyrim Realism is. If any of you have seen this, I don't know, you can probably skip ahead a little bit. Skyrim Realism changes a lot of things. It changes a lot of small things. For instance, I'm now required to eat and drink regularly. I have hunger, I have, I don't know, dehydration, I guess. I'm also required to rest. It has also changed encumbrance. It's changed the way armor works. It's done some minor changes to the perk trees. It's actually done like a rearranging of pretty much all the perk trees, and then in a few specific perk trees there are some special additions, a couple new perks here and there, which is exciting. Most of the magic trees are unchanged other than being reorganized, though. I don't necessarily know why I'm going through this character's inventory. Nothing here is anything outstanding. She basically just came out of Helgen. Everything is as you would expect. So let's see. Let's take a look at some of these perk trees, because this is just instantly you can see some of what's been changed. Conjuration, just the way the perks are organized. Just the sequencing has been changed. Illusion, alchemy. You can see almost all of these trees are changed to some degree. Very few of them have outright new perks, though. I know that light armor and heavy armor are two of the trees that have brand new perks. For example, heavy armor now. Whoa, that's a little far. That's a little far. Heavy armor has this Titan perk, which allows you to deal 50% more stagger when wearing only heavy armor, which sounds awesome. It's also got, let's see, Cushioned has an additional effect. Cushion used to just decrease fall damage. Now it also reduces fire, frost, and shock damage, which is awesome. And for the most part, little minor things like that were also changed in the light armor tree. I think there's somewhere in here that allows you to regenerate stamina faster. Yeah, Windwalker. Stamina regenerates 50% faster, and you move 10% faster while wearing only light armor, which just seems really neat. The movement specifically. As far as encumbrance goes, as your weight increases, you actually become slower. You begin to move slower. And you'll notice that my carry weight is quite a bit different. So right now I'm holding 22 out of a total 50 carry weight. 50 is way lower than you might expect. However, note also that the weights of just about everything in the game have been modified. They've been moved a little bit closer to realism, and that's included in materials and like the actual armor and weapons you get. And they're realistic in ways such that the materials that go into any weapon or armor are always more than the resulting weapon or armor. So, you know, you use materials, you don't all of a sudden have a heavier piece of equipment from, you know, the total amount of material weight that went into it. So I think I'm going to stop there. There are a lot of other changes. There are a lot of very small changes just throughout, including combat changes with just Skyrim Realism, as well as with the duel mod. A lot of tactic changes, strategy changes, at least so they claim. I have not played with this mod at all yet, so I'm going to be surprised, and I'm going to have the pleasure of learning it with you. Seeing everything that goes crazy, you're going to get to see me react to, hopefully, some cooler enemies. Oh, and one other thing that I'm going to start out on this playthrough, I can't promise you... Whoa, Expert. Why was that on Expert? That's weird. I can't promise you that I'm going to keep this on Legendary, but for right now, we're going to play on Legendary. We're going to feel it out, see how things go. Also, for right now, I'm going to use Fire, although I think this is going to end up being a Destruction Lightning Mage. I've talked about Lightning before, and honestly, it still goes. Lightning is the worst choice. There's no reason to choose Lightning over Fire, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. I think I'm going to choose Lightning just because Lightning's cooler. I like the way Lightning looks. Instantly, some wolves are proving to be a very tough fight for me. It's quite alright, though. I think hit point, magicka, and stamina regeneration levels have been modified as well in Skyrim Realism. So in combat, since combat is designed to last a little bit longer anyway, you now have a little bit better of a chance of surviving. It's been kind of gauged a little bit more towards
you decided to come with me. We're almost to Riverwood.
The change in Realism. And we approach Riverwood. Wow, it kind of feels weird getting a chance to do this all over again. I can finally call it Riverwood like it's supposed to be called instead of Rivertown and River Run and I don't know, whatever else I called it in my very first mage walkthrough. Oh, one other mod that I almost forgot to mention. I have a lighting mod installed. So far, I can't really tell that it's installed. But one thing that it's supposed to do is change the lighting in a lot of dungeons, and hopefully, it's going to be a lot more realistic. And it's going to require that I use a source of light. I expect certain dungeons to be very dark. We'll see how that goes.
What happened to you, boy? Are you in some kind of trouble?
Keep your voice down. I'm fine, but we should go inside to talk.
What's going on? And who's this?
She's a friend. Saved my life, in fact. Come on, I'll explain everything, but we need to go inside.
Hadvar should be incredibly concerned.
Sigrid will get you something to eat, and you can tell me all about it.
I'm sorry, I mean Alvor should be incredibly concerned over Hadvar's state of well-being. He just showed up naked. That's very odd. I'm gonna see if I can snatch everything from this gentleman Hadvar here. I keep calling Alvor Hadvar. Alvor. I'm gonna snatch everything I can from Alvor. We are in the beginning. Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. The lighting is definitely different. This fire's burning low, and you can tell it is quite dark in here.
Hadvar, we've been so worried about you. Come, you two must be hungry. Sit down and I'll get you something to eat.
Check it out. Hadvar found clothes.
Now then, boy.
It's kind of cool, actually.
Mystery? What are you doing here looking like you lost an argument with a cave bear?
I don't know where to stop. You know I was assigned to General Tullius' guard. We were stopped in Helgen when we were attacked by a dragon.
A dragon? That's ridiculous. You aren't drunk, are you, boy?
Oh, come on, Alvor.
Husband.
Give him some
Let
credit.
him tell his story.
Husband, she says.
Not much more to tell. This dragon flew over and just wrecked the whole place. Mass confusion. I don't know if anyone else got out alive. I doubt I'd made it out myself if not for my friend here.
Those Stormcloaks wanted to kill you.
And let them know what's happened. I thought you could help us out. Food, supplies, a place to stay.
Of course. Any friend of Hadvar's is a friend of mine. I'm glad to help however I can.
With these new mod changes, I may actually need the place to stay, too.
In any way I can. But I need your help. We need your help.
Really? You need my help? So you're going to give me a gift to get my help? This dialogue seems like it's missing something. Okay, so I have hunger now. I need to start paying attention to food. Alcohol has a bit more of an adverse effect, too. I think I think I'm going to take everything from this guy except for the tunic. I think I'm going to take it all. Oh, I took the tunic. Hold the phone. Can we give the tunic back? I can't. It's a gift.
Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless.
Ah, right you are.
We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Balgruuf's a good man. If it weren't for that worm of an advisor he has, I'll see if I can get word to him. So do you have any other supplies I could take?
Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can.
I can't give it to him. I was wanting to offload. I guess I'll just drop the tunic. I could ask him about a number of things. Can I use your forge, actually? I would really like... There we go.
I see no harm in it, if you have the skill.
I might.
The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new.
I am a dark elf woman, but... maybe I know a thing or two about smithing.
Hush.
Who knows?
Don't pester your cousin.
I thought about trying to make this a full role-playing playthrough, but that's so difficult. It's not even funny. Staying in character, whoa, crafting kit for forging. I am undetected. Let's take it. I am carrying too much to be able to run. I am officially now a whetstone. Nice. So another thing, I feel like probably the first 10 episodes of this is just going to be nothing but me mentioning what's new with this mod. Another thing this adds is mobile crafting stuff. Where did that go? I thought it would be in miscellaneous. I just picked up a forge, right? We can drop... oh, there we go. A crafting kit for forging. A portable crafting kit that allows you to forge weapons, armor, and other miscellaneous items. It is quite heavy, too. 8.5 is kind of heavy. I can't equip it. I can't unequip it. Interesting. I can drop it, I believe. I think I'm probably going to have to just drop it because it's too heavy. It overweights me already. Interesting. So I guess when I equip it, that menu comes up once I close my inventory. That's kind of cool. That's something that could be very handy, but the weight is already just being very, very difficult.
Make yourself at home.
I hate that you're down here. Sigrid, I would be able to get a lot of stuff out of everything down here if you weren't. Well, I suppose I'm going to head up and I'm going to do everything I can to deck myself out before leaving town. And I suppose I could eat some of this food. So I know that some of the effects are shown here. Armor balance, so check this out. SkyRealism, I'll give you some details. Reduces incoming damage by up to 25% when wearing light armor, and up to 50% if wearing heavy armor. Now these numbers, 25 and 50%, are in addition to the reduction that your armor rating grants you. So heavy armor can actually give you a ridiculous amount of armor reduction total. Now you only get this full 50% if you're wearing all heavy armor. You only get this full 25% if you're wearing all light armor. If you mix match the two, you can get, like, you know, some heavy, some light. You can get above 25%. But if you're mixing them with like clothing the way I am right now, it'll only be lower than those two values. Racial perk, as a Dunmer, as a Dark Elf, I get the Novice Destruction perk for free, which is neat. Every race gets a free perk in SkyRealism, which is kind of cool. Unencumbered. My speed has been increased by 10%. I think when I become encumbered, it reduces my speed. And I think encumberment only happens with armor. Am I right in that? I'm not totally sure. I think the type of armor that you use is the only thing. Oh, hey, they're going to let me take these. It's not even stealing. Those are stealing for some reason. I guess he likes his steel. A lot has changed about crafting as well. I know that any kind of tempering, like using the grindstone or using the workbench, that's not supposed to take materials anymore. Or does it? It does still require leather to do that with boots. Let me try the grindstone. Does this require materials? Aha! Requires. You can see it says nothing down here. So you can sharpen a sword without using more iron. just like real life. Like, why do you need iron to sharpen a sword? It doesn't make any sense. Well, now you can do that. But bam!
That's a decent weapon you've made there.
And get some additional gold out of things, basically for free. So that means that anything you smith just for the skill up, before you sell it, you should improve it anyway. At least as far as weapons go. I'm going to do some smithing here. I kind of want to show you parts of it, just to see what all's new, what all's changed. We're going to make as much leather as we can out of these wolf pelts. I don't know about the strips yet. Oh, nice. So another thing, you can actually break down armors now. That makes crafting a little bit easier. If you pick up armors out in the world, you can bring them here and break them down into some, if not all, of their original material components. So you can get materials out of armor. Makes leveling up a little easier. Let's do one thing of leather strips, just so I have some of them. And let's go over here to this blacksmith. This forge. Excuse me, sir. I would very much so like to use your forge. I should walk through the tutorial dialogue with him, because he'll give me some free materials if I do. I might do that off camera. So they've added a lot of items, and they've changed some of the recipes around. Does this actually require a wolf pelt? Is that what it's saying? And an iron bar. What is an iron bar? I know they've increased some materials. Any item that you make now, the materials on it are required. Oh, here's all the crafting kits. Wow. These are all pretty damn heavy. I don't know how I feel about those. That weight is a little bit intense. I guess they made it to where you don't just carry around, you know, everything, which is kind of cool. But that's pretty intense. Early on, I don't think I'll be carrying around any of those, just because weight is such an issue now. So the helmet is one of the few things that requires nothing but iron ingots. What is an iron bar? How can I make an iron bar? I need to figure that out pretty fast. Alright, well, you guys have seen some examples. I'm going to do quite a bit more here at the Forge, just because there's quite a bit, you know, short-term character improvement stuff I can do here. And it's going to take a decent bit of time, so I will spare you the excruciating detail. And even more new stuff. Prices have changed. Supposedly, to make them more accurately reflect consistent values, comparatively realistic values. Obviously, a lot of this stuff isn't traded the same today as it is here. You know, not in the modern world. An iron ingot's not going to go for 7 gold pieces. Nobody uses gold pieces as currency. But they've made things comparatively to one another. You know, an iron ingot as compared to the iron chest piece that it makes, those values have been rebalanced a little bit, which is kind of neat. Oh, how cool! You can make lockpicks. Unfortunately, I'm totally stumped on this iron bar thing. I have no idea how to make iron bars, and it's required for a lot of different stuff. This carry weight is really intense. Honestly, these iron ingots have a lot of it, but I'm more than double right now. I think one thing that's probably going to get to me a lot of these potions, just because the carry weight has been reduced so much. But also my armor. With the changes to light and heavy armor, I thought about making this character a battle mage. I did the battle mage thing before. I really don't like it. I like being able to dodge attacks more than anything. But I'm kind of thinking I might want to use one of the armors, but it's not going to be for a while because they are just so heavy. I'm kind of curious about how eating works. Let me eat just a couple of these things. A small meal, a large snack. And let me see, I wonder if I can tell. I am full, it says in the top left. Okay. So I suppose I'll only be able to monitor my hunger through status update messages. That kind of bothers me a little bit. You know, it seems silly to have like a hunger gauge, have it be like 0 to 100 of how hungry you are, but that's just a gameplay mechanic to show you what you would be able to tell if you were really that character. If I was really this character, I would be able to just question myself and be like, I'm not very hungry, or I'm kinda hungry, or holy crap, I'm really hungry. That number representation tells you that, and I think, especially with the system that this mod has, that's something that that needs to be available somewhere. I need to be able to come in here And my speed has been reduced by 10% because I'm encumbered. That's interesting. I wonder if that's from my weight, right? So, speed reduction. So, does it reduce my speed in addition to disallowing me to sprint? Or jog, even? Huh. That's very interesting. So, I'm going to have to put a bunch of stuff in a chest because I don't really have anything else I want to get rid of. This chest does not have steel on it. It has search. Let me see if I can just snatch that. I think I can. And then let me just drop off everything else that I don't need. With the very little bit of weight that I'm allowed to carry. I'm probably going to sell that here in just a second. All of the ingredients. I don't have any use for any of these quite yet. I guess I'm going to keep the food on me. I don't really know how quick food decays. Oh, another thing this mod comes with. Time changes. It puts the time scale a little bit more on realistic values. A weight 0.1, I actually kind of want to just drop that in the chest for right now. I'm probably going to be offloading this bow onto the follower that I pick up here in a second. I'm going to keep the steel dagger. So that puts me back down at 18 out of 50. God, the iron, hold on. Is this weight per piece of iron? It says 11.2 for an iron ingot. Is that, can I pick up? That's one piece of iron. Oh my God. The iron is so heavy. Wow. Well, that's good. There's most of my encumbrance, but wow, that's heavy. My God, that's heavy. I have a feeling that I'm going to be seeking out the Steed Stone very soon and probably using that for a while. Wow, that's so heavy. Quenthel was his name, right? I think that was his name. It's funny, I've had this guy follow me. I've had so much dialogue with all the different characters I've created. I don't even remember the chap's name. Poor fella. I know he's got a house way back over here. It already seems like my stamina goes down a lot slower when I'm sprinting, which is awesome. It also makes your stamina from power attacks decrease slower. Let's go ahead and favorite that. And I think 2. Let's see. Flames does 1. Can I have that on 2? 2 sounds good. I just want to see. I just want to do a power attack. Yeah, I could do a solid amount of those. That's really cool. It seems like that swings really fast. That could just be me not being used to daggers, though. Hod and girders. That's where I would go if I followed the storm cloak out. Where's Faindel's house? Faindel's house! Hello, Faindel, old chap. Are you home?
I see you talking to Sven.
You are, buddy.
Maybe. Never mind. But I would stay away from him if I were you.
Well, what's your problem with Sven?
He's a bard, so he says.
I think he's a rogue knight.
He finds time to do his job here at the mill. Thinks his ballads and sonnets are going to convince Camilla Valerius to marry him. As if she would say yes. An intelligent, beautiful woman like her wouldn't fall for that nonsense. I hope.
I hope. Well, maybe he's good at something, and you just don't know. You hope. You don't sound very sure.
I've been thinking. Maybe Camilla needs a little help seeing Sven for what he is. Could you give her this letter and say it's from Sven? I think I've matched that Nord's lack of cleverness perfectly.
That perspective. You gotta watch it, Faindel. You gotta watch it. So if I wanted, I think Sven's got a little bit more money. If I wanted some monetary gain. Faindel's a better archer, though. And if I wanted, I could do the archery training exploit. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm going to try to avoid all exploits and everything in this playthrough. Do it totally legit. I'm not going to grant myself gold. I'm going to do nothing.
Well, what are you going to do then?
Means it's probably going to be pretty slow to pick up, but
we are done talking about this.
It's going to be okay.
Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
Oh, it's quite alright. I am no stranger to strife. Camilla, actually.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
Maybe I could talk to you. I have a letter for you from Sven.
Another poem, I bet.
Yeah.
He does know how to make a girl blush.
It talks about how he wants her to clean his house.
All I'm going to do is stay
do some other silly
house
things.
Of his and clean. You can tell Sven that he already has a mother. I'm not speaking to him anymore.
Oh, Faindel will be Sven will be so displeased. Camilla. Lucan!
I don't know what you overheard, but the Riverwood Trader is still open. Feel free to shop.
He's so doused in shadow.
The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store.
Did something happen?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break. We still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing.
Of course.
An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
I could help you get that claw back.
You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now,
how much coin are we talking about here?
Falls Barrow, northeast of town.
Wow.
Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
I've got one.
No,
He's really good with the bow, too.
Fine, but only to the edge of town.
Camilla, give me 1 second. I actually do want to do a little shopping here.
Don't let my sister do anything foolish.
Oh, surely not. So what have you got for
Trinkets,
sale, old
odds and
boy?
ends, that sort of thing.
Thanks for watching. Later.